If you want to simplify your zero DTE options trading, then keep watching as I walk through how to use the daily forecast from alphacrunching.com using a real trade example. Now let's get into it. Let's walk through a trade example that I took today using the forecast with some simple technical analysis. And we went into today, this is the February 27th. Today is February 27th, Monday. I'm doing this video before the market has closed. I'm already in and out of my trade, so I'm maybe done for the day. We'll see how the rest of the day plays out. But as we came into Monday the 27th, this was the forecast. It was pretty choppy. And one of the things I've been talking about to members and kind of mentioning in a few posts and things is the magnitude of the chart. And the magnitude, I'm really looking at the y-axis here, where this is the average SPX points for a given period. And so as we head into today, we can see that the average move over the morning has been about 18 points. And I really want to emphasize looking at these charts as a forecast and not trying to use them to exactly pinpoint exactly when the market's going to turn. The market can fluctuate. There's momentum. There's things that can happen. Like this is a Monday, so we'll see in a second where the chart, we were gapping up, and those type of real-time effects can obviously alter some of these things. So we're using this as a guide, and I wanted to talk through that here. So when I first, before the trading day began, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, I'm looking for kind of a morning surge and then for it to kind of level off, meaning the momentum has kind of stopped. This really isn't tradable. I'm not expecting the market to just trade sideways all day. That's not how I'm looking at this. I'm looking for a morning surge. And then really, this is just inconsistent. You don't really know what's going to happen during this time. But ultimately, we see sort of a fade or weakness in the afternoon. So that's what I'm kind of going into the day with. And if we look at the chart for the day, and again, I'm recording this in the middle of the day, but I wanted to talk about the magnitude a little bit. And if I zoom in, this is where we closed on Friday, which was, let's call it 39.70. And we gapped up to 40.02. So we're going to, call that about 30 points. So from the open, the market is already up 30 points. And then it ended up surging until about the 10 o'clock hour to 40.17. So from the open to the this sort of short-term peak for now was about 17, 18 points. So we look at the forecast and we think, okay, the market's gapped up 30 points and I'm expecting the magnitude to be 17, 18 points on average. Well, we got that in the first 30 minutes. Now this particular kind of spike here showed a 12-point increase up until about 10 a.m. But again, I'm not looking at the exact, minute by minute plays. I'm just saying, hey, look, the magnitude tends to be 18 points or so. We're already up 30, so the market is up 50 points since Friday's close. So at this point, I'm starting to get kind of contrarian and say, okay, well, what else is in play here? Well, we have a gap fill at 40.11. And then we have some previous resistance at 40.21, and then that high of about 40.27. So we have a couple things here. We've reached what I think is probably the max of the move for the day. It doesn't mean the market can't go higher. I mean, it could very easily pull back to the gap window, which is what it's doing now, and it could very easily surge back up later. I'm not trying to stay in a trade all day. I'm trying to find a decent entry to sell premium and get a contraction and where I can profit. So what I ended up doing on this gap fill, which was right here around 40.10, 40.12 on this candle, as we came up in here, I went ahead and sold a zero DTE. I sold the 40.25 call and bought the 40.30 call, and I got a credit of $1.25. For those that know me, I like to sell closer to the money, but what I wanted to do was get some bearish exposure, and I went in with a smaller size with the idea that if we actually rallied, if the rally kept going and we peaked into this resistance area that I had drawn, then this spread would go up in value to probably 250 or so, give or take. If it actually went through and this went in the money, this spread could be worth 250, give or take. So the idea was, well, if I can sell some at $1.25 and then sort of double down at 250, that brings my net credit to about, if you average those together, 250 and 125, let's call it $2, 175, something like that. And at that point, I look for a retracement to take some profits. So that was sort of the mindset I was going in to take that trade. Well, after entering here about 410, the market started to level off in this area. We never actually got up there, and then it just rolled over. So when it rolled over, I'm actually out of the trade. When it pushed back down, I was able to buy the spread back for 75 cents. Now, normally, let's go back to the forecast. Normally, I might try to stay in this, but it's so early in the day. All of this happens so early, but way before this other potential surge at 11, which is actually right now as I'm making this video. So what I didn't want to do is say, stay in this at 40.25. It come all the way back down here, and the spread's worth, let's say, half, and then it rally all the way back up, because I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the day. This is saying we could actually move back up and we could stay, up. So it's again, this is kind of inconsistent, so it's hard to say. But the idea here is that I'm not trying to stay in the market for as long as possible. If I can get what I consider a good entry against some key levels, I've talked about key levels, and 40.25 is one of those quarter strikes on SPX. Those tend to be key levels just inherently because that's where the large monthly expirations tend to occur. And so the quarter strikes on SPX, that's 40.25, 40.50, 40.75, 40.100, those type of strikes. So if I can trade against those and, I have my gap fill in a couple of resistance areas, that's enough for me to say, okay, I'm looking for a morning move up and shorting against key levels and taking profits when they come. So I'm not trying to overly complicate it and trade every tick of the forecast. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll see you in the next one.